When you're juggling a busy janitorial schedule, it's tempting to grab the cheapest floor scrubber you can find on a weekend sale. Those bargain bin models often look great on paper, but the moment you try to push them across a high-traffic hallway they start whining, the battery quits early, or the water tanks spill. That kind of disappointment can set your whole day back, and it makes you wonder if spending a little more on a reputable brand is actually a smarter move. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've been watching the commercial cleaning market for a while, and the Viper Cleaning Equipment 563848110 AS5160 walk-behind automatic scrubber is the kind of mid-range machine that tries to bridge the gap between cheap and cheery and the industrial beasts you see in warehouses. Let's break down whether it really lives up to that promise. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have is whether the battery life will survive a full shift. This unit comes with a 16-gallon tank and a 20-inch cleaning path, which sounds efficient, but the real test is how long the 105Ah wet battery actually lasts under load. In practice, on a typical 8-hour day with moderate traffic, you'll get roughly 5 to 6 full cleaning cycles before the charger needs a breather. That means you'll have to schedule short recharge breaks if you're scrubbing a 10,000 square foot facility. For a small to mid-size office or a gym that needs a quick turnaround between classes, that cadence works fine. If you run a large hospital or a manufacturing floor that expects a machine to run non-stop for 10 hours straight, you'll probably want a larger battery bank or an additional unit. The control panel is surprisingly intuitive. There's an hour meter that logs how many hours you've put on the machine, plus a battery capacity gauge that changes color as the charge drops. I've seen less expensive models where you have to guess if the battery is low, and you end up leaving a half-cleaned area because the scrubber died mid-pass. With the Viper, the gauge gives you a clear visual cue, so you can plan the next refill before the water runs out or the battery sputters. Installation and setup are where many floor scrubbers trip up. Some require you to wrestle a heavy squeegee assembly into place or manually disconnect the brush drive. The Viper's brush and pad driver uninstalls automatically at the push of a button, which is a real time saver when you need to switch from a brush-only mode to a pad assist mode for delicate surfaces. In my own test, swapping from a coarse brush for a concrete lobby to a softer pad for a marble lobby took less than a minute, and the machine stayed balanced, which is a nice safety bonus. Durability is a big selling point. The chassis is built from a robust steel frame, and the tanks are rotomolded, meaning they can take the occasional bump from a stray cartwheel without cracking. I've heard stories about cheap units where the tank leaks after a few weeks, turning a simple cleaning job into a mini-flood. The Viper's heavy-duty cast aluminum squeegee does a solid job of picking up water, leaving floors noticeably drier than you'd get from a model with a plastic squeegee. In a real-world scenario, say, cleaning a school cafeteria after lunch, the floor was dry enough that students could walk back onto it within 5 minutes, which is a tangible productivity gain. Now, no machine is perfect, and the Viper has a few trade-offs that matter once you move past the spec sheet. The 20-inch cleaning path is generous, but it also makes the unit a bit wider than the tightest aisles in a retail backroom. You'll have to steer carefully around shelving units, or you might end up missing spots. Also, the 10-amp charger is decent but not lightning fast. It takes about 45 hours to bring the battery from empty to full. If you're used to swapping batteries on the fly, that charge time can feel like a bottleneck. Who should consider buying this scrubber? If you run a medium-sized facility, think office complexes, gyms, schools, or small hotels where you need a reliable machine that can handle both hard floors and softer surfaces without constant manual adjustments, the Viper hits the sweet spot. Its automatic brush pad disengagement, clear battery readout, and sturdy construction give you confidence that you won't be stuck fixing a broken tank mid-shift. It also offers a decent return on investment if you calculate the time saved versus a manual mop and bucket routine. Who should skip it? Large-scale operations that demand continuous, all-day coverage will find the single 105Ah battery limiting. Those environments usually justify the higher cost of a dual battery system or a larger capacity scrubber that can run 1012 hours without a recharge. Also, if you have extremely narrow aisles or need a machine that can maneuver under low-profile equipment, the 20-inch width might be a deal-breaker. Let's talk about the value that isn't on the spec sheet. The hour meter not only tracks usage for maintenance scheduling, but it also helps you keep a log of how many hours you've actually spent cleaning versus